Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, guys, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, how frustrating was it? For those of you that tuned into the Ortiz Hooker show on Saturday night, how frustrating was it to see Errol Spence and Terence Crawford both in the same building, and two of the top welterweights in the world, both undefeated, both champions, both pound for pound level fighters. How disappointing was it to see that we're not any closer to this fight from happening? In fact, we're probably as far away from it as it ever happening, and it's just disappointing. Terence Crawford was interviewed by Chris Mannix. He was there to support his guy Maurice Hooker. They trained together. Maurice Hooker has the same trainer as Terence Crawford in Bomac, so obviously he's going to be there riding for his guy. And Terence Crawford was he's not liked in Texas, Terence Crawford, man. When he was out there, I think it was for the Canelo fight, he was getting booed then as well. So he's not particularly liked in Texas. I don't think that will bother him too much though. But he was interviewed by Chris Mannix anyway on the DAZN broadcast, and of course the question that was going to be asked was how much closer, if we are at all, to him fighting Errol Spence, the fight that we all want to see. It's one of the most eagerly anticipated fights in the whole of boxing. You have a look at some of the fights that people want to see. AJ Fury's up there, Taylor Ramirez is already made, you could say Inoue, Casemiro and some others, but Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is up there with one of the most eagerly anticipated fights that boxing wants to see at the end of the day. 3 of the 4 belts will be on the line. It will establish welterweight supremacy, and it really does. This is the fight that we want to see. Do you know what I mean? But it was a very negative interview. Terence Crawford, he was just like, look, I'm not focusing on Errol Spence. I'm over that now. We're past that chapter, and I'm moving on with my career. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating us as fans to see this, because at the end of the day, it's a pride and ego thing with these two. Do you know what I mean? They weren't able to put that to the side in order to make this fight happen. And the real losers here are the boxing fans. We are the losers in this scenario, because we're not going to get the chance to see these two get in the ring now. And if they do get in the ring, will it be too late? Will it have been, when they're beyond their prime, when it was too late? We've seen multiple instances of that happen in the past. Mayweather Pacquiao probably should have happened in 2010, 2011, 12, but they didn't fight till 2015. So it's frustrating. I remember when they were backstage at a fight back in 2018, and they went in each other's faces, and it was all good natured, but it really got everybody talking. Everybody was just like, yeah, let's see this fight, man. These two, this is what we want to see. And it was literally, I remember the internet, everybody was talking about that when them two were getting in each other's faces backstage. And since then we haven't moved any closer to it happening, man, and it's disappointing. And this is why people in boxing get turned off, because we don't always get the fights that we want to see. I just think that with AJ and Fury, they're kind of setting an example here, because we hear the term crossing the street, we hear the term, oh, you need to accept this, I'm the A side, I'm this, I'm that. But AJ and Fury, it's looking like that's going to be made. Both of them are champions, and this is for the Undisputed Championship. Both of them fight on rival networks, but they're able to go beyond that in order for us to make the fight happen. And I know that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford will be talking about a pandemic, but this fight here between AJ and Fury looks like it's going to be happening while we're in a pandemic. So what is the real reason, really? I'm not interested in finger pointing now. I just think that both of them are to blame for this fight not happening. And I saw Dan Raphael put a tweet out yesterday saying if these two guys don't get it on, then it's going to have a negative effect on both of their legacies. We're going to have a look at this, and this is going to have an impact on their legacies. But I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know what you guys think about that, but it's his opinion, and it's very frustrating, man. And this is why people in boxing and combat sports gravitate towards the UFC, because those fights get made. I know they got a different format over there, but you just get it's just disappointing. That's just the word to summarize that interview with Terence Crawford with Chris Mannix. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure it'll be on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, very disappointing, man. It doesn't look like we're going to get this fight. And where do they go from here? Because, Errol Spence will probably fight Ugas next. And if he wins that, he picks up the WBA belt, and that will make him have 3 of the 4 belts at welterweight. But what's the point if you're not going to fight Terence Crawford? And Terence Crawford, his options are even more limited. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he will fight a Sean Porter, but he beat Sean Porter. then you know, who else does he fight? Does he move up in weight to light middle? I don't know, because I think that light middleweight could be a step too far. I mean, the gap between, I know it's 7 pounds, but the gap between those guys and the welterweights are huge. I mean, when you move up to light middleweight, I know Danny Garcia's looking to do it, but those guys up there are huge, man. I don't know if Terence Crawford has the size to deal with those guys as of yet. I don't know. As for Errol Spence, I mean, he's spoken about moving up in weight before. If he was to move up to light middleweight, I don't know, there's a bit of a conflict of interest there, because you know, the guy at light middleweight right now, the #1 fighter, is Jamel Charlo, and you know, they both share the same trainer in Derek James. They're actually good friends as well, Charlo and Spence. So where does Errol Spence go if he was to move up to 154? I mean, he could fight Castano for the WBO belt, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Very frustrating, man. These two guys just need to get it on, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And you know, we have to blame the both of them at this point. We blame both of them. So let me know what you guys think, man. I mean, as you could tell, I'm very frustrated, but do you think we will ever see this fight? Do you think we'll get it too late, or do you think that the ship has really sailed, like Terence Crawford said, and we won't get that fight at all? Maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm being too negative, and maybe the fight will happen. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Hit that like button, man, share the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.